Hi, I'm so glad that you joined me today. I have a very cool card that I'm going to be demonstrating. Here is our sneak peek. And I'm going to be teaching you a technique called embossing on vellum. Now this is actually a very old technique, something that I had known about many years ago, kind of forgot about it. But there was a demonstrator from the Netherlands who demonstrated a gorgeous card using this technique. And I was so excited because it reminded me that I know how to do this. And I wanted to show it to all of my customers. And so her name is Kim Goleij. I'm not even sure I'm saying it right. It's Goleij. So thank you, Kim, for reminding me about this cool technique. I am a demonstrator in Cleveland, Ohio right now, but some very exciting news. I will be moving into my new townhouse, which is almost done very soon. It'll be at the end of October, so there's only going to be a few more videos shot here at my apartment. But I'm very glad that you joined me today, and I hope that you will share this video with your friends. And if you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you put in the bell for the notifications, you'll find out when my next one is being released. And let me think if there's anything else I needed to tell you. I don't think that there is, so I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to get started. All right, so today I am going to be working with a couple different stamp sets. I'm going to be using this floral image here from the Nature's Harvest stamp set. And then I'm also going to be using one of the sentiments from the Encircled in Friendship. I wanted something that was circular, so I really like this one because it does fit in a circle. And we're also going to be using our circles dies. So these are the layering circles. I'm using the third smallest. I'll pull that out. And then our paper today. So we have a black card base. And then I have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white for the inside. This is also a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Pattern Party DSP. Now, if you don't have this, it's probably because you haven't been a host. This is one of our exclusive host products that you can get, and this is a tremendous pack of paper. It's got black and white designs on one side and then all kinds of fun prints, and I've used quite a bit of these already, so really love that pattern. And then we also need a piece of just black for layering. This is just a little bit bigger than our vellum, so this is 2 3/8 by 4 7/8, and then the vellum is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So they're going to layer on top. And then of course you need a piece of white for your sentiment, and this is just let's see how big this is, about a 2-inch square. So we are gonna put these aside for this moment, and then we are also going to need some tools. So this, I'll turn it this way so you can see our logo. This is our Pierce mat, and this is a great tool, not only for doing what we're gonna do today, but also for stamping on, because it's a nice firm surface, but it's not hard. So it has a little bit of give. So when you're working with our clear photopolymer stamp sets, this is a really good thing to stamp on. I usually just wrap it with some scrap paper, some copy paper, and then I stamp on it, and when that paper gets dirty, I take it off, put a new one on. So we're going to be using that. We're also going to be using the Take Your Pick tool. Now most of the time I'm using these two ends. So this is the putty end. That's great for picking up things, sequins, and different gems. And then I usually use this pointy end. Of course, this comes out and it has a spatula on the other end. So you can just flip it around, twist it in. But today we're using the other tool that you don't use very often, and this is the embossing tool. So it has this ball at the end of it. So this one is the small size, and then this is the large size. So I'm going to put this in here. We're going to start with the small size. So we're going to be needing that. All right. The other thing that I'm going to feature today is this ribbon. This is from our new catalog, and this is just called Black and White. It's a gingham ribbon. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, and I love this. I just got this with my, well, not my last order, the one before that. And this is just so easy to play with. It ties nicely. It's very soft and supple. So as I was playing with this and I designed this card, I used it, and then I used it on the next card, and then I decided I'm just going to feature it on all the cards in this video today. So I really love that one. All right, so we're going to get started by folding our card base in half. So this is our basic black, and it's your standard size. It's the 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And then since we have this paper here, we might as well go ahead and add our adhesive and layer this on. And then this will be ready to go. Just a little bit of our glue. And that's gonna layer right there in the middle. That's the nice thing about glue, that you can slide it around a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside. Now I'm gonna bring in my stamp apparatus. So here I have my stamp apparatus set up. And the reason I'm doing this is because I really want a nice solid image of this floral design. And I figured if I didn't get a really good image, I would be a little bit disappointed. And then I would have wasted my vellum. The magnets are so strong. So I'm gonna put my magnets just on the corners and hold that in place. Make sure that looks good. Move this one a little bit. I don't want that to be in the way. And then I'll be ready to go. All right, I am using StazOn black ink today. Now StazOn, as you've seen before, is a very dark, intense ink, and it really is beautiful, especially when you're doing a black and white card. So I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna stamp it on here. And another reason for using your stamp apparatus is that vellum is a little bit slippery, and so you don't want to slide. So I think that looks wonderful. I'm gonna move my magnets off. Okay, now you do have to give this a moment to dry. So I'm gonna set that there. I'm gonna move my stamp apparatus out of the way. And while that's drying, we might as well stamp our sentiment. So this is the one that I chose, just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. So I'm gonna open that up and stamp that right in the middle. There, that is perfect. And that is all the stamping that we have to do for the outside of our card. So, like I said, this is going to be cut with the third smallest of the circles. So I'm going to go over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to cut that out, and I will be right back. So that's all cut out, and I'm going to look at this, and it looks like it's got just a little bit of ink that's still wet. So I'm just going to wave it in the wind. I'm going to bring back my Pierce mat. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so what we're gonna do is turn it upside down. And then I'm gonna take this tool with the fine tip end, and I'm just going to go over and I'm gonna press. Now I'm not pressing too hard, but I'm just going along the petals and giving them this embossed, dry embossed line. I'm just going over the line art of the artist rendering of this flower, and I'm going to turn this over in just a minute, but I want you to kind of see how magical this is. So you can see a little bit, but when you turn it over, look at how much that whitens up the vellum. It looks so beautiful. So I'm going to turn this over. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more here, and I'm going to do all these other petals. And that's why I've chosen to start with the small end of this. And some of these you can really see them getting whiter right here on the underneath side. I'm gonna keep going. And then I'm even gonna do these ones that are heavily inked. And again, I'm just staying with the lines that are on the stamped set. And I'm going to show you another card when I'm done with this one that is a little bit different. And I'm going to use a different motion on that one. But for this one, I am just going and mimicking the artwork. So I'm going to speed up the video so you don't have to watch me as I do all this. All right, right, I think that looks pretty good. Now, oops, wrong end. I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to put in the bigger tip. And even this part here that is very heavily inked, I'm going to go around and give that some circular motions. This is on the top part of the flower. So when you turn that over, that's what it looks like. Isn't that stunning? Oh, I just really love this. So I'm going to set this aside. And now we are ready to assemble. So vellum, because it is clear, what I'm going to do is just use my glue, and I'm going to smear some glue with the tip of my applicator just on the parts of the flower. So the leaves and a little bit here on this flower. I'm not going to put it on the open spaces. And you're not going to really see this because of the whitening that we did with our tool. But I am trying not to go out of the lines. And then I'm going to put that on here. And it's just going to have this little bit of a border. I'm going to turn it over so I can press this down. All right, and that holds it in place. The embossing kind of gives it a little bit of dimension, and then when you put the glue there, it holds it all in place so then it lies flat again. So then what we need is just a little bit of this gingham ribbon. So I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to snip. Okay, and then I am going to put my adhesive. Now, I'm using Seal Plus because Seal Plus is very strong and it works great for ribbon. So line up my ribbon piece and I'm just going to put that right there. And that's going to hold it. Gives it just a cute little accent up at the top. And so now let's grab my dimensionals. I am almost done with this sheet of black dimensionals. I'll have to get a new one out. I do like using black dimensionals when we have black elements. And not that it really matters and nobody's going to look at it from the side. Oh, look at that, finished up. Perfect. But I do like having the option of using black dimensionals. I'll peel off my backings. And then we are going to put this in the upper right-hand corner of our card. So I would say it's about a ½ an inch or so. I just eyeball it right up there. And then all we have to do is add some dimensionals for our saying. Now this is going to overlap the vellum. So you don't want to put dimensionals up in this corner. You want them only over here. So on this side and on the bottom. So I'm going to put that over on the side, and then where it overlaps in the corner, I am just going to put a little bit of glue right there in that corner, and then peel off these backings. And this is just going to go right there. So beautiful. So I have my piece for my inside, and I decided to use this image here. They're just beautiful flowers, and thought that would go beautifully right here in the corner. Okay, close that up, and then we can go ahead and put that on the inside of our card. And again, I usually line up these 3 sides so that they all are equal, and then the fold will just fall into place. So there is this card, and I love this one. I think it is so pretty. Keeping it all in black and white is just a stunning way to do this card. Now, I did say that I'm going to show you how to do some other ones. So the second card I'm going to show you is featuring these counting sheep. So this is one of our celebration items. So I stamped, this is on a scrap. I'll show you the card in just a minute. And for him, I did use the big ball, and I kind of went in a circular motion because that made it look a little bit more like the woolly texture that I would think that you would have on the sheep. So I just kept going around in little circles, and I filled him in. I'm just going to do a little bit more. And as you can see, that looks really cute when you turn it over. And then on his ear, I just went with a more of a smooth shape like that. And then I did color, using my blends, his hooves with gray so that they would stand out a little bit. But he is really cute. And so I'm going to show you that card is right here. So isn't that adorable? And I love how this gingham ribbon looks with the Granny Apple Green. And that's what I did on the inside. So I used this ribbon. Again, it pops against the green. I added another little one on the outside of my envelope. So the next one I'm going to show you is using a dry emboss technique, but it's an embossing folder. So this time I have taken a piece of vellum that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed the entire vellum with a embossing folder. So this happens to be a new one from our annual, or not our annual catalog, our mini catalog. So it just gives a very nice subtle texture to the back of it. And then I use these beautiful pumpkins. Again, I kept it pretty much in black and white, except I colored the flowers, and just to give it a little pop, and then I colored my gingham ribbon. And you can do that with your ribbons with the blends. So that is a great way to give you a lot more variety. And having the words in the ribbon up here, they sort of balance out with the color here. I put a few little sequins on there, and I think this is beautiful. And there is our thank you card here. And that's what I did on the envelope. I'll put it over here. All right, this next one is also with an embossing folder. I just did a panel, and this is, again, a new set of embossing folders that came out in our mini catalog, and I love these pine boughs. I thought they look really pretty. So this is a very, very simple card. I simply took a panel, and this is a mini. It goes in our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so you can't do a full panel with this one. So I just did this mini one. I tied the ribbon around it with a bow. Add just a circle here with your sentiment, some matte black dots in the corner, and you've got a beautiful Christmas card in no time flat. And then the next card I did is using the vellum and the second embossing folder that matches with that evergreen boughs, but this one has snowflakes on it. So I only took a small piece of vellum for this one, and then I matted it directly onto a piece of basic white. So it is the same size as the vellum, and this time when I put the adhesive on it, I just smeared it over with my finger so it didn't leave a glob of it, and then you don't see it on the white. And so I matted that with this paper, and I was going to show you these are from the Celebration catalog. So this is soon to be done. Here are the counting sheep, and you can get both the sheep and the dies. These are each in the $50 level. And then this one here is the Peaceful Prints paper. Oh, I really love this paper. I'm not so fond of the deers, although they're cute, but they're just not my thing. But this paper is beautiful. So I used that paper here on this card. I put a piece of it here, and this is a pocket card. So this will hold a gift card. You just tuck it right in there. So I covered that front panel with the plaid that has the snowflakes, and then this piece here is another piece that is the same plaid but without the snowflakes. So it's a wonderful mat, and then of course the black, little bit of ribbon, and I added some of our new little shimmering sequins. These are subtle shimmer sequins, and these are really, really pretty. So that's what I put on a few of those snowflakes, and then I stamped my envelope. So there you have it, a really fun technique. an oldie but a goodie. I'm just going to put my cards out so that you can see them. So we have using the folders to do dry embossing with your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then using your tool, your Take Your Pick tool, and embossing by hand to get this beautiful white look onto your vellum by pressing with that tool. So I hope that you have liked this. If you need any of the supplies to make this card today, I have the details found in the bottom of my description of this video, and you can also find them on my blog. It's thepowerofacard.blogspot.com. If you want to order anything and you don't have enough to make a hostess order, which would be $150, please use my host code. I do appreciate that. And if you have any questions, or if you would want to join my team or host a party or a show, just let me know. I would love to do that. My life will settle down. It's been a little bit crazy lately, but I would love to work with you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.